You know why? I'll tell you, because it opens the kind of the same way where it's just like, my job here is to make sure that these dead stay dead. And that's kind of how Cemetery Man opens, because I always thought that was like one of my favorite parts about that flick in the first place.
You mean the first part where he's in like the crypt and he like shoots the zombie?
Yup, that's exactly what it was reminding me of, man. So I'm sure it's completely different. I'm not fucking trying to call you out, but that's totally what it's reminding me of. A lot.
I mean, it's all about horror films, so it should remind you of something.
But, all right, let's get back into it.
Batter up, bitch boy.
Right now he's just beating the crap out of a zombie with the shovel. The whole movie's in black and white, but the blood's in red.
It's just those corpses you butcher. They have families. Why can't you have any respect?
They're dead.
Yeah, and our job is to put the dead back where they belong, not make gore masterpieces. Just destroy the brain and bring them down in the most efficient manner.
I think I made pretty efficient work of that last one.
I
think I heard the Wilhelm scream in there.
That was definitely in there. The famous Wilhelm scream.
I was just reading about that the other day.
A zombie actually gets its head shoved up its ass in this film.
You didn't need to hit him so many times.
I only hit it once. There wasn't even anything left for a second hit.
I'm not criticizing you, Lloyd. It's just
how long's the original version, James?
Barbaric way
17 minutes.
Why do you have a 3-minute one? That was for like a contest, right?
It was. Romero's Diary of the Dead.
My point is you
have
no respect for the dead.
Fuck the dead.
I sure hope it's a closed casket funeral.
Gonna have to be now.
Alright, so that's that. That should give you a little bit of an idea what it was like.
All that old music was all old, like Universal music, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was just a tribute to, like, old horror films, like Black and White with the cemetery.
Yeah, it sounded very Ed Wood reminiscent.
Yeah,
definitely.
Very Ed Wood.
And if people want to watch the full version, where could they see it, James?
It's on Cinemassacre.com. It's probably in the favorites. Like, go to Cinemassacre.com, go to videos, then go to favorites. It's in there. I always thought Night of the Living Dead was kind of like the middle ground horror film because it's like, it's gory, but it's not that gory. It's still kind of like, it's in between. It's like a classic horror film that's in black and white, but it also has like some bloodshed.
Well, you know what it was? I think Night of the Living Dead struck a chord with a lot of people, and obviously on a social commentary level, just simply because I think Romero found a good balance between, telling an entertaining and bloody horror, story, and it really told the tale of the times. And I think that it, in some way, I don't think he meant to do it at the time in such a profound way, but he really did tap into what a whole generation was all about.
Yeah,
and in a weird low-budget zombie film.
Yeah, well, like in Dawn of the Dead, the 70s and then the 80s, like he kind of did it with every movie he did too, which is great.
Well, I agreed with it as far as Dawn of the Dead goes, whereas consumerism was becoming a major factor in American culture. But I thought that once Day of the Dead came along and like it was trying to be, the whole zombie thing was at this point a giant euphemism for AIDS. I thought that was just kind of, I thought he was trying to make analogies for analogy's sake instead of trying to make a good horror movie. He just tried to force a 3-hour AIDS awareness campaign down your throat, in my opinion. I mean, look, it's a great flick. It's all right. It goes on a little too long, and obviously we have that great death scene, But Day of the Dead is it's a goddamn, it's a marathon watch. It's a marathon. That fucking thing is 2.5 hours long. Where does it get you at the end?
Day of the Dead?
Yeah.
2.5 hours?
It's a long movie.
Oh, do you have like a director's cut or something?
I don't know what I have. Day of the Dead is a long fucking flick. At least that's maybe it just feels that way when I fucking watch it, because that shit fucking takes forever.
What are the calls, man?
All right, you know what? Let's take this this last call, number 8.
Anthony.
3DO Games. Anthony, what's up?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, thanks for being patient. You have a question about 3DO?
Yeah, I was wondering if you're ever going to do any 3DO reviews in the future, because there's a whole bunch of shitty games on that system.
I do, but here's the question. Which 3DO games do you think are the worst?
Oh, man, there's a lot.
What is the 3DO? I'm not familiar with that system.
The Panasonic
it came
3DO?
out in '93. It was $700 fucking dollars when it came out, which is outrageous. And it was pretty much like PlayStation before PlayStation. You know, it had like...
It was $700 when it came out?
Yeah, it was like one of the first CD games.
Yeah.
Kind of like the CDI.
It was like $700
bucks,
that
live
thing.
action video.
Yeah.
Like shooter games that were like Mad Dog McCree and Crime Lords and all that shit.
Yeah.
Very reminiscent. In my opinion, it was very reminiscent of what the TurboGrafx CD add-on ended up being.
Yeah.
The Turbo Duo.
Yeah, you know, and it's funny because I always thought that it's so funny when you look back at some classic game systems like, you know, 3DO. Not like it's a classic system, but it does have its place in history. And you know, the TurboGrafx CD add-on and all that stuff. And I love how these like when CD-ROM was a name that was just becoming part of everyday household use. It was like, oh yeah, I got that on CD-ROM or whatever. Like you know, when you got Encarta, you know,
Encarta,
as part of your first computer and everything. And it's
Cinemania.
Yeah,
you know.
And I love how that's where games, like that's where people thought games were going. Where like with these terrible cartoony cutscenes or this fucking awful
Dragon's Lair.
Oh fuck that. Yeah, that. But even worse than that, like those fucking terrible Zelda games for 3DO.
CDI.
Dude, that sucks my ass. And not only that, but also the terrible, grainy, pixelated, what they called full motion video.
Sega.
Dude, fuck Sega. Dude, there was a game for the TurboGrafx CD called like It Came From Another World or some shit.
Yeah.
And it was like, dude, it was like on your TV. Full screen, what they would show you is basically like a 3x3 square of terrible pixelated video, and like that was supposed to be a video game.
Yeah.
Like what was that? Night Trap? What was that for Sega? Whatever it was.
Night Trap.
Oh
Yeah.
fuck you with those shitty fucking like who thought that was the future of the gaming industry? Apparently it was a lot of people because there was a lot of games that ended up coming out looking like that.
They took the gameplay out of it and just made them into movies instead. So it was a lot of that. But yeah, so what about this, Daryl? What's up with video games made into movies?
What's up, Daryl?
Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, James. Big fan, man. You know, since when you were the angry Nintendo nerd, you know, before you had to switch to angry video game nerd. But I was going to go back to, you guys are talking about what video games were really crappy, or what movies were really crappy video games. What about really crappy video games turned into movies like Super Mario Brothers?
Yeah.
Street Fighter.
They had Dennis Hopper.
Yeah.
Dennis Hopper plays Koopa, as they just called him.
Yeah.
Double Dragon
It
wasn't
hasn't
on.
changed either.
Yeah.
It hasn't changed much either because you have Max Payne. You know, that's not really that good. Tomb Raider. I mean, you have the new Street Fighter movie coming out too.
The Hitman.
I mean, yeah. So I just wanted to hear what you had about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Super Mario Bros. Was one of the first ones that I remember, and I remember the tagline was, "Hey kids, this ain't no game," or something like that, and it was like, "Wow, we're gonna watch Super Mario Brothers," and it was kind of a hard concept, I guess, to make into a movie to begin with, but still, they pretty much just went off and did something completely different with Dennis Hopper playing
Like dinosaurs and
Bowser.
So you were like really excited, right, James?
I was
going
excited
into
when
it?
I saw it, and then afterwards I was like, wow, that movie was a piece of shit.
How about The Wizard?
Oh, The Wizard.
Oh, he reviewed The Wizard.
Fred Savage, that fucking Super
Yeah,
Mario
it
3
was
commercial.
basically like a road trip where they're going to the dinosaurs. That's what the whole movie's about, the dinosaurs in Cabazon, California, the statues. The whole movie is just about going to the dinosaurs, but it has this whole video game theme attached to it. And I remember the only reason any kid went to see that movie was just to see Super Mario Brothers 3 in it. You know, and that was it.
Well,
Or the Power Glove.
The Power
Yeah,
Glove.
yeah.
Lucas.
The Lucas scene.
The Power. Yeah, I think I just found that clip from the movie here.
Let's see what we got.
Cool, thanks.
Hey, no problem. Thanks a lot.
Oh, this is like the whole thing.
No, this is terrible.
You did the whole review on the Power Glove too.
I did.
Wasn't it the Power Glove that you were reviewing where you actually did land the fucking plane?
Yeah.
Oh, this audio is terrible. I gotta turn it off. It's awful. Yuck. That fucking movie sucked my dick.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Like,
Speaking
what,
of the Power Glove,
what we
we have a
got
little
here?
clip
What
here,
track?
right
What track
here.
is it there? I can't
track
even see.
number 6.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Power Glove.
Track 6. We don't gotta be professional anymore. It's almost 11.
Yeah.
Here, hang on a second.
I love the Power Glove. It's so bad. And I mean bad. This thing is bad. Why need a glove to play a game? What's wrong with this? Huh? I don't know. I thought this was okay, playing it, with the controller. So if anything, the Power Glove, it's an interesting experiment in gaming technology. But too bad they were just fucking jerking off. Like, why does it suck so bad? Well, I have one fucking complaint about this glove. It doesn't work. Now, what's the most important aspect about any game? Well, being able to fucking play it. If you want to bring a totally new element of challenge to your Nintendo games, try the Power Glove, because it sure makes everything a lot harder. It's just a barely functional contraption designed to rip off little kids. It's the biggest scam since the Atari 5200 controller. The only kids who owned this were usually the richer ones who thought they were cool. Well, they're not cool. I'm not cool either. Look at me. You think I'm cool? I got a fucking glove on my hand. I'm trying to play a fucking game with it. I look like an idiot with a fistful of shit. Now you're playing with fucking shit. You're better off fucking shit than fucking with this fucked up shit. Fuck this shit. You don't know shit about how fucking shitty this fucking shit is. It's so bad it sucks. It's so fucking suck it fucks. And I can't take it anymore. So that's the Power Glove.
Yeah, but you know what though? I gotta bring up a debate that's probably been. I mean, I'm sure I'm not the first one to even think about it. But I mean, come on. If you haven't heard the Wii versus Power Glove debate,
Wii versus Power Glove.
Because like the same thing.
what's the difference? I mean, basically the Wii is the
same
fucking Nintendo with Power Glove.
Nintendo
that works.
seems like they've always been trying that same thing. They're always doing like the trying to make games interactive and doing different things like that. So yeah, it is very similar.
It worked finally.
Totally is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it works now, so that's the whole point. Well, some games don't work as good as others, but
I can't get, I mean, I try. I really do. I try. And I know, James, that you're a big fan of the Wii, but I can't. I try, and I can't get past Wii Sports. Like, if there's another game, like I tried the Mario Kart, it's kind of cool for a few minutes. Mario Galaxy,
you mean you
I can't
enjoy
stand.
Wii Sports, but then once you get past that, you're having,
I have a tough time getting into these games.
there's not
No,
many
I totally
other games that are
understand.
too good.
There's not a lot on the Wii. I don't
Smash
think.
Brothers is pretty good. There's a few good ones, but
Yeah. Zelda, the
Twilight Princess.
Zelda game is really good, but it's like once you play all those, you're kind of just, I think there's not really a lot left.
We should take some calls. We got a lot of calls,
Yeah,
man. I mean,
yeah.
these fucking lines are crazy.
Let's get this guy wonders about new reviews.
Yeah, you've been waiting an hour on the line.
Let's do some quick answers, though. Quick questions, quick answers. Hey, how's it going? Jerica?
Oh, hey.
Hey, how's it going? Is that your name?
A girl.
I was just I was wondering when your next video game
What are you
review
doing?
was going to come out.
Hopefully soon. I'm not
What are you
actually
doing
sure, but I have plenty of them, in the works, and a lot of them are actually finished and ready to be released. But to be honest, it's just a bunch of business bullshit going on right now. So I just need to wait. There's a lot of stuff just out of my control. Basically, I'm waiting for the new contract to be renewed, and once that happens, I'll be able to start releasing episodes again.
Contract with who?
Game trailers.
Yuck.
Yeah, it gets like that, but hey, like I have nothing to do with a lot of it, so it's just I have to just wait.
got to renew the contract once a year. It takes a little bit of time.
Once
whatever.
it happens, it'll be back to normal again, and it'll just be new episodes coming out, and everything will be good. So, yeah, thanks a lot.
You should be getting paid.
I am. Don't worry.
You better be getting paid.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Okay. N64 games. Jake here. Second one. Hey, Jake.
Hey.